What is going on, guys? Blazing Tech here, back with some music related content. I hope everybody is okay in light of the COVID-19 pandemic that we're experiencing around the world. So hopefully wherever you're watching this from, everything is fine with you and your family. I send you my blessings and warmth and positivity. But today I'm really excited because this is something that I've always wanted to do on my channel, but I've never gotten around to it. But today is the day that I'm going to start my bass tutorials, really dig in and share with you guys my 11-year experience of playing bass guitar, and I'm going to teach you guys everything I can possibly would like to teach you, and I'm going to start from the very beginning and the basics and kind of build it up as we go. And I'm going to do some song tutorials, some covers. So if you like this content, stick around. And if you're just starting out, it's important to remember that we all have to start somewhere. So when things get tough, don't get discouraged. That's for you to dig deep and figure out if you really want this or not. So without any further ado, the first thing that we're going to start off with is how to improve your bass playing, whether you're a beginner, an intermediate, or a pro. I mean, if you're a pro, you probably don't want to be watching this, but if you're an intermediate and you still want to improve on your skills, even pros could do this as well. But my number one thing that we should talk about, the first thing, is going to be posture and how you're sitting. If you notice, I'm sitting on kind of a musical seat without a backrest, and I really want to really emphasize the positioning of the bass. You don't want to be playing like this. You want to be upright, and you want this belly cut really gonna right here on your belly, and you want to be able to have a really good, comfortable position when you're playing the instrument. So but that's what we want. We want it to be comfortable. You don't want to injure yourself. And if you're practicing bad posture in the beginning, it's going to be really hard to correct yourself. So that's step one. Step two is going to be familiar with your bass. And right here, I've got in my hand a 93 MIJ Squier jazz bass. And what I really want to talk to you guys about is the three controls that we've got here. You'll notice that this only has two knobs. So we've got volume and tone. So essentially what tone does is it kind of takes away the mid and high end sound from your bass. P basses give you a burlier tone. So it's kind of important to know how to use this tone, especially on the bass. And it's also really important to know what settings your amp has right here. And I kind of like to keep everything neutral. And that way when I want to change the tone or anything like that, I usually do it right here on the bass itself. So P-bass tone would be something like Sting and the Police. As you are playing and however you see fit, you're going to blend that tone knob in there. So that was not very much tone, but you'll see the difference of me playing it, kind of using the same picking style as well. Anyway, we get the idea. Comment down below which song by the Police that is for some extra brownie points. Switching back to my jazz bass, we've got three knobs here now. Also, we have two pickups. P-bass consists of two split coil pickups. These are two separate pickups. So This is going to be our knob for our front pickup right here, which we call it the neck pickup. And this is going to be our knob for our bridge pickup. So on a jazz bass, you can really kind of dial in those mids and those highs. So for example, if I wanted to do something very Jaco Pastorius-esque, I'm going to completely turn off this pickup, go full volume on this pickup, and then again, our tiny knob is our tone knob. So maybe we're going to do something like a... Let's see how different that sounds if I kind of blended the two pickups. Let's open everything up so you can kind of hear that. So, the moral of this story is that if you're getting a sound that maybe you don't like at this moment in time, maybe it's because you don't know exactly what all your knobs and such do, maybe even on your amp. So I would implore you guys to kind of rewind, go back to what I was talking about, and really experiment on your own to see what kind of sounds you like. And that's the most important thing. Don't try and capture anybody else's sound. Go for your sound. Don't get caught up in name brands. I'm blessed. I own 2 Fenders. I own a couple Fenders actually. This is my #1 American Deluxe jazz bass. But I love my 93 MIJ Squier. And I've played a bunch of Squiers that I really like too. So every instrument is built a little bit differently, and it's all got different mojo. And I can talk about that bass a little later. I've built it up kind of nicely. This is my #1. Just switching to this because those pickups are a little hot for what I'm doing. But back to the playing. If you're beginning, this is the #1 recommendation I'd give to you, is that you don't want to play with a pick. Don't play with a pick. You want to play with your fingers. And depending on where you're positioning and everything, obviously if I'm playing my jazz bass, I'm going to be kind of wanting to pick right here or here depending on the pickup. But it's really important to do alternating picking. And if you guys watch me, I'm just not good at it, because when I started I didn't do that. But just to even practice like this for you guys. Just every other, just using these 2 fingers. Sometimes I even catch myself using my 3rd finger or double middle fingering, and it's really annoying. It's one of those things that if you keep doing it, you're not going to be able to break yourself of it. So if you start doing that in the beginning, it's going to save you guys a lot of pain later on. So for my beginners out there, we're going to start on, and I'm just going to call these strings in order 1, 2, 3, 4, even though you're supposed to do 1, 2, 3, 4. So starting from the top is 1. You're going to have your first finger on the first dot, or the 3rd fret, where my pearloid inlay is. And essentially you're going to be going 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. I just slid the shape down 1 fret. I do it again. I'm just sliding that shape down the fretboard. Don't forget to do your alternate picking. A little monotonous, but it really helps out, especially if you're warming up. So the purpose of that exercise is that you're going to want to loosen up your left hand. As you can see, I've kind of got a stretch I think, yeah, I got a really stretched pinky out right there, and that's just a matter of me practicing a lot. But that's going to really help you out with the alternate picking, as well as just loosening up those fingers, because you've never probably done anything like this before with your left hand. So now I had some other things in mind, but I think I'm going to draw a line in the sand today for this first episode. I really want you guys to try out your bass and your amp and stuff like that. If you're looking to get started to playing bass and you want my recommendations on gear to buy when you first start out, don't hesitate to leave a comment down below and we'll talk about it. But this is the first episode, and let's review everything that I've kind of talked about. So number one is going to be posture for sure, and getting in a really good seating position. That way you can play everything comfortably. I'm just dinking around at this point. As you can see, I wasn't very outstretched or anything like that, and everything was really comfortable. Second is going to be alternate picking, and you're going to really want to loosen up and get this left hand used to kind of traveling up and down the fingerboard. So we're going to do that little exercise again. Go as slow or as fast as you'd like. But make sure you're really getting in the middle of those frets. You're not buzzing, playing on the fret. That's a really common beginner mistake. You want to play right in the middle. Right in the middle. But anyway, guys, thanks for watching. We'll catch you on the next one. Thank you.